And hello, everyone, and welcome to the webinar for Sustainable Fashion 2021. And I'm Art.
And I'm Gigi.
Yeah, and today we will be your MC. So let's start. So today we would like to introduce you to our Sustainable Fashion webinar. We will guide you through what sustainable fashion is, its trends, its problems, and possible solutions. We will all find out the answers to this with our two guest speakers, the founder, the founder of Nara and Voravaj clothing brands. Today, we have two speakers, one from Nara.hq, Kun Pimnarra, and an owner and designer of Nara at Nara.hq, and Kun Voravaj, a designer with more than 15 years of experience in fashion and a founder of Voravaj. It is an honor to have both of them here at our Sustainable Fashion webinar. So let's start with our first speaker, Kun Pimnarra.
Kun Pimnarra is a designer and owner of Nara at Nara.hq, focused on sustainable wearable arts. Kun Pimnarra tries to create her Nara's clothes character as working woman's 40s, blending with the hippie 70s. She designed Nara clothes to be unique and can be worn on all occasions. Nara's clothes are made with care and designed from Kun Pimnarra's experiences and memories from locations, times, and emotions. Nara Unique is the project that Kun Pimnarra aims to make a unique design, especially for Nara's completists. Only one sample is made and only one sale piece is available. Each of the design is made with care and passion in order to showcase Nara's craftsmanship technique and characters.
Yes, and welcome, Kun Pimnarra, and you can start.
Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, clap.
Okay. Good morning again. My name is Pimnarra Sangngern. I am the designer and founder of Nara, which you already know. Today, I am so excited to share my experience and ideas about fashion, the sustainable fashion. So we start with the slide. Is everyone seeing the slide now? The problems of fashion industry that deteriorate environment and depreciate the value of fashion worker. So mainly I'm talking about the process of fast fashion. So what is fashion? How you describe fashion in your perspective? This might be things that general people sees as a fashion. But actually, what is actually fashion? Fashion is a general interest at the specific time. As you can see, everything comes and go that we call trend. So fashion is basically a trend. It's not about just garment or clothing. As you can see in your everyday, I would say like you are in a fashion world, but you're not really knowingly that you are actually in the trend. Because actually, I can I have the next slide, please? I'm sure now most of you are listening to me going to cafe, and most of the cafe sells croissant, because actually fashion is a general interest at the very moment that people are paying attention for. So as you can see, the next photo is a green tea. you can see green tea not only just for food and beverage, but you also see green tea in skincare or even sanitary pad, because it's a trend, because it's something that people are paying attention. So that is actually the fashion. So back to garment industry, I would say garment industry, which is people always say a fashion industry. So next slide, please. I would say fashion actually is fashion sustainability is a balancing point between fashion industry and Mother Nature, because fashion itself, it could not be sustainable. Why? Because it comes and go, especially fast fashion, as the name using fast, it means comes and go, like a trend or everything that comes and go, just like croissant and green tea. So how we can make fashion sustain? We have to find a balancing point between fashion and Mother Nature. Problem is, I think in my experience, you can see that many brands are misunderstanding about being sustainable fashion by using 100% natural materials for their product. That's it, and they doesn't even look carefully about production, or they didn't concern about the quality of the product, which is even you're using 100% natural materials, but the quality is under standard. The lifetime of that product are not that long. So I would say it's not just about using 100% natural material, just like most of the brands are doing it now. We need to concern about the quality as well and the design that could be wearing most of the time and any occasion, or in fashion words would say mix and match or timeless design. That I think that would help. So can I have next slide? So as you can see, the problems of the fast fashion, this is the situation that happened 8 years ago in Bangladesh. I have this from Fashion Left, which is Fashion Revolution. You can Google it. They have their website and Instagram, which is very useful. I would love to talk about this situation because it would aware all of you before you buy things from now on. So I would share some of the part of the news. This is the Rana Plaza 8 years ago in Bangladesh that collapsed. This tragedy took lives of 1,138 people, mostly are young women, and injured about 2,500 people. The sadness is they actually know that the building is cracked, but the management still asking them, forcing them, I would say, to come to work. Even the ground floor is actually the bank and the shop, they are closed, and it's really dangerous. But 5,000 of people went to work that day in fear in this building just to finish all the garment in time because they have to deal with 29 brands. And some of the largest fashion retailer in the world are one of the customers that order this order that they have to finish by the due date. So I think sustainability it's not about just environmentally friendly, being environmentally friendly, but just to make a better living for worker as well, not only just investor. So we need to think about the living of them. Imagine maybe one of you bought one of this garment from this situation 8 years ago that caught lives, so many lives of people, and they didn't even help any of them after the situation. This I think it has to be known in the world. So that's why I share this to you, just to make awareness. So what is fashion sustainability for me? It's a balancing between point between fashion industry and Mother Nature. Make a better living for workers, not only just investors, and utilize all resources and make them most beneficial to both ends. That means it's not just about the work, but about life and about the future, about the humanity after this. Because if you produce a lot of them and waste a lot of them, it would cause a lot of problems that are happening right now. As you can see the next slide, it will see that that's for 40 tons of clothing from around the world. You see that's very sad. It's from us, I would say. Maybe I am the one of that trash as well. So we are I think we need to concern more when we buy something. So I would love to share you the comparison about most brand in market and Nara, because I'm in industry since 2012 until now. It's like 9 years, things happening, and I get through a lot of problems. So I need to share you this because maybe one of you or maybe any of you might know someone that doing garment industry, and I would love to share this. Maybe it would help a little to make a better environment. So most of the band, as I said before, they are trying to use the 100% natural materials. But Nara, I try to utilize all the materials and the design, make it unique, make it timeless. Again, they follow trends. Just like I told you, when lots of people want something at the same time, the demanding is high. So they produce more and the quality is lower because there are lots of competitors. They would love to minimize the production cost so then they can sell it cheaper. but the quality is lower as well. So those products, when you buy lots of them, they will produce more because you support them. And you wear it once or twice, or even like just 5 times, not even 5 times, as in my experience that I saw most of my friends and people that I know, some of them only wear once because they want to be, they just want to look like someone famous at the moment, just to make a social statement. I don't know, just want to share or want to be someone for once. And those turn to trash. That's a problem of most brands in market. They follow trends and they produce over demand because they want a cheaper price. They want to sell more. But those single use, I would say single use garment will turn to trash in only one time, like one day. Nara used to have small stocks as well. I would love to share you with my timeline. I was founded in 2012. The very few first years I did made to order because it was small brand. I do it myself. That was when I was graduated. But then after that, when the business grew, we need to produce some stocks so people can easily grab and use it right away. Doesn't have to wait for like a week or a few weeks. So I produced small amounts of stocks. And then in 2018, still doing made to order. I still doing made to order because all of my customer, most of them are my loyalty customers. So we still have the made to measure and made to order offering. But then when I start to have a flagship store and department store, I have to produce more. And that is the breaking point. I was there only like less than a year. And I feel very guilty. I feel depressed. Because in my experience when I was in Sydney, Australia, waste is unacceptable for me. And there are lots of waste stocks created by that time. I actually closed the shop after like 9 months, I guess, because I think I need to stop doing this. I didn't say that all the other brands doing the wrong thing or they might have their own way, but I made my choice. I go back to where I was, which is the made to order. This is what I'm doing. I have lots of design that made from denim, and most of the customer, they like to make to measure. So all the stocks that left, it's like more than 50 pieces. So I create another range of garment, which is called Nara Unique. Can I see this? This is the collection. Can I have the previous? Yes. So this is most of the design that goes just like the MC introduced me at the very first, which is 40s and 70s. Why 40s and 70s? If you're back to the history, 40s is the beginning of the history of women that actually have a proper job, I would say. Because back then, we only born to marry the guy and being the housewife. But in 40s, as you know, the history, it was World War II. So that war create the situation that all the men has to go to war. So all the work in town, just like factory or whatever, were replaced by women. So that time create a new history. So we went to work since then. So that character I converge with the idea of being sustainable, nature lover by 70s, as you know as hippies. So with the idea that I imply with the design, as you can see that the design, I use all the stuff that left from the department store to create Nara Unique. So this is all the left stocks of the clothing and also the fabrics from previous collections since 2012 that still, I utilize all of the materials that I have left. So all I made 36 pieces, and all of them using the materials from the previous collection and also the stocks from the stock that I produced before, just to show the technique as well. But thing is, I create this because I want to aware people about buying a fast fashion or the garment that you can see beautifully in department store or even online. I think I would love you from now on to consider more when you buy about who is making this garment for you, or what it made from, or how they pay for the workers. You can see more about this that I was talking in Flash Left, which I introduced before. You can go by Instagram or website. They have the campaign about who is making your clothes, and they show all the faces that they're making your clothing or fabric or yarns, or some of them making their own clothes. So if you have time, have a look at that and go through this website or Instagram account. I think it would be useful for us, humanity, and also the environment. So that's what I want to share. So yeah, that's basically what I want to share with you guys briefly. And if you have any questions, I'm welcome to answer. I couldn't see the question.
Okay, it's fine. I will read it for you. So first of all, I would like to thank you, Kun Pimnarra, for an appreciable speech, and many interesting points have been made in her speech. And yes, I do agree with her about fashions having come and go, and as we can see the trends in each year. So the world is changing every day. And that not only using eco-friendly materials would be sustainable, but we have to be concerned about the quality too. And today's material in production has become an awareness for customer too. And also we have to think about the lives of the employees, not just the investors. So I really like the comparison between Nara and most brands, as many brands are misunderstanding the concept of sustainable fashion, which I think having a right concept on sustainable fashion is a unique point for Nara brand. So let's move on to the Q&A. So we have one question from the chat of that. Do we call the clothing brand like Hang Ten, Body Glove, Giordano, or E-Spirit a fast fashion? If so, we have those brands since the 1950. So why the problem of sustainable fashion just recently picked up like a couple of years ago? That's the question. One of the questions.
Okay, thank you for the question. That's a very good question. Those brands that you mentioned, I think for me, in my perspective, they are not fast fashion, because fast fashion, it comes fast and it go very quickly. But in my in my time when I was young, body glove is very popular. Maybe in that time, it might be, you can call it fast fashion back to like 20 years ago. For me now, it's like a classic brand already that you can actually wear. I think even now it's not popular as before, but still I think some of the people would wear it uniquely, I think. So I would love to explain more about fast fashion.
Yes, sure.
Imagine the situation of the maybe the famous singer or girl group or the K-pop or whatever that is happening at the moment, and they dress something differently or uniquely, and you have seen them on the social media, all of you, at very recently. So one look that has been posted and it gets viral, and people are wanting to be looking just like that person, and all the small or even the big brand producing those product or those design, and because they are demanding, right? So they produce it, I would say, below the standard quality, which is maybe they would only wear once because they just just want to wear it, take a picture or do whatever with them, and post it on Instagram or Facebook, just just to show that they are in the trend. That I would call fast fashion. So it's different from the brands that you mentioned. Yeah, is that make sense?
Yes. Okay, thank you for the answer. Yeah, I do agree that like these days, trends are something that people would like consider first more than just the quality or the materials itself. And next up, we have question from Miss Yanisa. Um, can we say that the main cause of fast fashion is customers' behavior? Higher demands leads to higher supply, causing overproduction in fashion industry.
What do you mean by causing by? Can I
Um, I think
have a question again?
I think what she's trying to say is that like the main cause or like the problem of fast fashion.
The main that caused the problem, right?
Yes, yes. Is it
Um.
because of cost? Yeah.
Yes, that's the point. That's mean. I'm glad that I what I told you before that I speaking right now, that speaks to you, because that is actually the main point. All the problem caused by us because we want it. That's why they produce it. If you stop buying it, why they are producing it? You see the point? Just
Yes.
like the croissant. Back to the croissant. This croissant was created in 13th century. It was like ages ago, which is actually they first made in Austria, and they were popular again in France by Marie Antoinette, which is ages ago as well, ages. And now it's due 2021. Why it's back? Because people want it. Because when people create this trend and people paying attention, that's why all other producer or creator want to create more, because the demanding is higher. It's keep hiring. That's why, yes, we are the problem, the main problem.
Yes, thank you. And almost last one. So I would like to combine both of these questions from Miss Natnari and Miss Grace. Of first is what is your future of fast fashion in? I mean, what's the future of fast fashion in your aspect? And also, what do you think would be the strategy to improve the fashion industry to become more sustainable, in your opinion?
In my opinion, it's not wrong if you want to be like someone that you admire, like those Korean girl group. It's not wrong at all. But concern more when you buy something or you create something to wear. Make sure it's not the single use. You can be like anyone that you admire, but don't buy things that will become trash. I would say don't buy trash or don't create trash. Fast fashion, it means it comes and go very quickly, but the thing that remains is the garment. The trends comes and go. What remains is you can desire that you want to remain a piece of art or a piece of trash. If you create the look that you want to be like someone, make sure all the things that you create is an art, not a trash. I would love to share you about Emma Watson and Angelina Jolie. They both are now trying to use all the old clothes. They wear it to the big event and presented that they used to wear this in previous event, and they bring it again, and it's not wrong. And again, your senior, Pilukop or Kulukop, with his campaign Wear One Buy. I would love you to have a look and think about that. These fast fashion pieces that create now, if it created with the good quality, it could be wearing it again. Maybe you can mix and match with the new look, and maybe you create something good out of it. So yeah, I would love to say that don't buy or don't create trash, but art. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the answer. And that is very considerable for every customers and investors. So one last question from Miss Mai. Uh, in the suburban area, how would you convince people to be able to be more aware of this problem?
Can you explain that a little?
Like for example, in the urban areas, such as like in the city, in the main city, like people do really care more about like fashion and clothing or like what they wear. But in the suburban area, how would you like uh allow people to like access to this these problems and be more aware of it?
Well, actually, in my experience, the suburban, they are not really into the fast fashion that much. But the problem is, the actual problem is the income, or maybe, the things that produce for them. It's the fast fashion quality. I would say the fast fashion quality, because they're not buying. I know that Nara create art, like a wearable art and things, but I do have costs about that. So I couldn't sell it in like a very cheap or affordable. So yeah, I think the problem is the producer. So if the producer produce something that high quality, like higher or even the standard quality that can last long, not a single use, like all of you producing the good product, the cost should be acceptable, and they can access this quality of the product. I think that's a thing that we can do, because I think all the suburban, they cannot, not all of them, because there's some rich or some yeah, I think that the problem is the producer, not the consumer. If we produce things good, then they have more choices. Does that make sense, or is that covered the
Yes, I think
question?
that answers covered the question. So uh okay, there's one more
Can
question, is that
you can you speak
uh
louder?
yes, so there's one more question saying that do you think that this problem is like linked with like economics too, like have something to do with economics?
Yeah, of course. that's the thing that parallel with this problem. Um, it's sad because I am actually from Australia, and I know that people are actually, most of the people are able to buy a good stuff. But here in Thailand, because the living cost is high, but the rate of pay is not high. Um, yeah, that's the main things. That's why they cannot afford a good quality product. And yeah, as you can see, the lowest pay rates is very low, and the good quality products, like a good piece of t-shirt, maybe it's already higher than they pay. So I think that's the problem. Yes.
Okay, and thank you for all of the answers, Miss Kun Pimnara, and thank you for the presentation you made today. So lastly, I would like to know for all of us, like where can we like look at Nara's collection, or like get Nara's product? Like
uh,
which
for
way can we contact? Is there like
um
Instagram or website?
for Nara, yeah, you can see both Nara.hq and my personal Instagram. Nara, I would not really post much. It's not really active, but I would post something about work more. But in my actual Instagram, my personal one, I would share the look that I create and about mix and match of the look as well. The more like a lifestyle that I use my creation with the creativity or create something new and talk about environment. And you can access both Instagram account by direct message. And you can share or whatever. If you have any other questions after this, you can also send me through my direct message and talk about it. I would happy to do it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your time today. Thank you for your time today. So let's move on to the next speaker. So next up, we have Kun Varavat. Okay, next slide, please. So Kun Varavat is a designer with more than 15 years of experience in fashion, and he is a founder of Voravaj Bangkok Academy and a design expert at DASTA. So Voravaj Bangkok aims to promote the use of Thai fabric to international recognition. He has brought the pride of Buriram people, like Pu Akani clothes, to perform in Indonesia in a more modern style, which received an excellent response. And he also created a culture mask, which gained worldwide recognition by promoting a unique campaign that not only encourages people to self-protect with flair during the COVID-19 pandemic, but also inspires others to turn their talents into creativity during lockdown. So welcome Kun Varawat, and you can start.
Hi. Okay. So can you hear me?
Yes, Kap.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for having me today. It's an honor. First of all, I would like to inform you that I don't have such a perfect English, but I will try to communicate anyway. So, since we can't move the mountain in 7 days, somehow, I mean, my journey is quite long, and I will try to explain everything fit in time. So this slide probably explain about who I am. So my name is Voravaj, Voravaj, or you can call me Jack, and I think it's better this way. So actually Voravaj Bangkok, born in 2013, but actually before that, I think I was in this industry for like 22 years, I think. Yes, that would be, yes, something really, I mean, I should earn something that possibly benefit to you all today. So may I have next slide, please? Okay, so what I would share to you today, I'm not going to say like what is right or wrong. I'm not going to judge anything, but this is what I have faced from the past day. So today I'm going to share you about the sustainability for fashion from conservation to the economy perspective. So may I have next slide, please? Okay, this is the thing that I will just tell you the story. I mean, in a casual way, because actually the information is quite intense, but I will try to make it more relaxed for you. In the year of 2018, actually the year that, I mean, it was like the beginning of the journey of my fashion for good cause. I create fashion for good cause. I attended one of the research project by assistant professor Jutamadri Science, or you can call her like Dr. Jan. Dr. Jan is master in gastronomy. But anyway, she gave me a call on that day for like, could you please like join our like research project in Buriram? And I said, yes, I mean, but I'm not sure if I could like, you know, help. I mean, I'm not sure because I'm not in the community of gastronomy. And she just said like, who knows, just come. So I was there. And the thing is, the thing started with, like she put all the ingredients, the local ingredients, such as like herbs, rocks, soil, or whatever they can find, in Buriram, the local. She put everything on the table. And then she just, and you can see there are some book photos. She asked all the attendee to like stand around the table and consider for like, what can you do with these all ingredients? And people just came up with like, like food, because it's herb, it's kind of, ingredients for food. So they came up with that blah, blah, blah things. So I walked to her and I said like, I'm not one of a kind of gastronomy person, but what if I can use my expertise, consider the thing, and I use my expert to create the new thing? And she said, fine. So I told her, herbs give color. So we can dye the color, we can dye the fabric. And also they do weaving, the local do weaving. So that's the beginning. I create the fashion brand. So I told her for like, if I can create fashion brand, is it possible? Because I'm not a person of gastronomy. And she said, why not? But you only have 2 days. I said, fine. I just have to run for it. And just imagine, I was there. I created everything, not just the cloth. And you can see my picture right there. We have the paper, we have the mannequin. We did everything in 2 days. We came up with business model canvas, with strategy, with the farmer product, and also with the logo in 2 days. And yes, I just inform everyone that, I will do this. I mean, this is possible because if you know about the business model generation, the business model canvas and the thing, and we can find all the issue and solution. And it's possible, so why not? So it's just the beginning of the Puka brand. Puka is Puakani, is the name of the fabric right there. And Puka means like mountain. So I said, why not? The thing starts from the mountain. And if you know that before, I'm not sure, that Buriram province, it used to be the volcano mountain area before, from the last century. And they have such a very unique, like the orange. So they use the soil to dye the fabric, also the rock. So the rock will turn like clay color and light blue color. The soil turn orange. So I use that to reimagine people for the new outcome. So this is the beginning of Puka brand. This is the beginning of fashion for Pukas for me. So may I have next slide, please? After the session, after the project research, the research project of Dr. Chen, I called her for like, hey, this is like, I spend my soul create this. And if I continue this in my own way, is it possible? I'm not sure if you want to move on with this. I'm not sure, but I will do it. If you don't do it, I will do it. And she just said, yes, of course, why not? It's very interesting. So the thing is, I have my community. I check a lot of information. So we have to find somewhere with the most conservation of the cultural heritage, this kind of stuff. And yes, I use their fabric. I use their technique to reimagine everything. And like in Thailand, I think you know well this, as the government asks people to wear the local material, like a chut Thai, like a Thai uniform kind of. And you will see it just not so fashionable. It's just like that. And as you heard before, that people try to reimagine, to revision for last century, but it's still there. So I tried to do something new, really new. And it was like the time of the millennials trend, like for the new generation. So this idea just came up for like, what if I can do something for the new generation? So this is the first collection of Ukar. It happened in Surabaya, Indonesia. So I call this collection From Mountain to the Millennials. So I was there with the information of, to support the hidden gems, such as like local artists. They are artists, they dye, they use the natural dye, they use the volcanic soil, volcanic ash to dye the color. And it's very interesting. And the thing is, it's really unexpected, but it happened because the national news of Indonesia, he was betting for me in front of the event. And after the show finished, I was the last person who came out because I have to pack everything back. And they just interviewed me. And that's the starting point. And it came out very interesting because it really affects the whole fashion system in Indonesia. So, all my designer friends or even my community there, they started to look for the local artists. They started to create the fashion for good cause as I did. So it was a surprise. And the thing is, it's really matter to the witness, It's not just because I use the material or the technique. But the thing is, if we just go there and ask them for like, hey, can you change this to this? Because I think this is possible. Just imagine if they have done this for centuries. They're not gonna change. No. So the thing is, it's like you run, you know the route. It's your job to use your experience, your expertise to find the finish point and show them this is the possibility. You have to expand the imagination for the more opportunity. So this is what I did in 2018. So I expand their opportunity. So they know now, now they learn that, what's the possibility in keep doing this, like the conservation. And I call this, to be easy to understand, I call this is like kind of like to hack people's mind. Once they believe that this is not possible, so it's just gonna be like this. No, we have to hack them. We have to create something to stimulate their own pattern. And we expect the new outcome, new output. So this is a strategy. The only thing is, once we hack, we will have to wait. If they feel like, fine, I just leave it, so you do. Then it's our job to find a solution for the next step. But the thing is, they feel like, hey, this is my heritage, this is my mind. So now they will figure out the way to reach the finish point that I did. So now they open mind. So this is very, very, how to say, psychology. I'm bad person, isn't it? So this is like the way to hack people's mind, to change their behavior, to believe in something, because now we really do something on belief system. And it's not easy, but it's possible. So it's done for the first collection in 2018. May I have next slide, please? All right. So in the same year after Indonesia, I create new collection and showcase it in Manila, Philippines. So I was there with the new strategy. The thing is, after we got the first forms of product, fashion product, now we have to find the position. We have to find the opportunity. And the keyword of this time is facts and proofs. Because right now, only we know what the possibility for this kind of material that we try to revision. The thing is, we have to make the comparison between our material and the market that available in the market. I mean, maybe from China, maybe from Italy, maybe from France. I don't know. But the thing is, we have to show people or the industry that we have standard, we have quality. So this collection will be the mixture between the available material in the market and the local market together and create something new and fresh and in time. So this collection I went with the concept, we move forward. Meanwhile, we also not forget our heritage, the bond of life. So I use that I told you, as I told you before, I use the material in the market mixed with the local material. And I was there with very chic and unique and streetwear. And of course, I used my couture technique. Right now, we have more opportunity for our product, not just product, but from the conservation. We are talking about the cultural heritage. It's already the conservation because people from the local will feel more of their pride. They feel love. They feel like for the inheritance. So the new generation feel like there's some light over there. So we just have to continue. So no one can leave this thing behind. So this is the thing that we have to fix for the issue of conservation, because sustainable fashion is not just only producing product. It's all about how the new generation will just, like, okay, I will just move on. I will just continue your culture. So this is very psychology, and it's not easy, but it happened and I did it. So it's done for Philippines. So may I have next slide, please? Okay. From Buriram province in 2018 to Indonesia to Philippines. Now it's time to go home. So I brought all the things that I developed, the fabric, the form, reimagine, revision, everything, all the strategy. So now I brought everything back to Buriram. I used the fabric with their uniqueness. Like Buriram is the city of sport, is the province of sport. So I use the touch of sporty to create something very fresh, unexpected, and remarkable. The Formula One or F1, I don't know, I'm not like a sport person, but like something like that to apply with the silk, leather, or even the organic cotton. And yes, we need someone who really can, translate our idea. So we need a professional model. So this is Jessica Amon-Kundil. She is like Asian Next Top model, circle one. So she came here to help me on this project, and we got one of the talented photographer. Right now, he is one of L'Official magazine. So it's quite success because right now people, the local people in Buriram, they believe that their plant, the heritage, could possibly go, further than they expect. And yes, it's quite success by that time. And it's done for the homecoming session in 2019. May I have next slide, please? So it's the new journey, it's the new page of Puka brand, because I brought Puka brand to London Fashion Week. And the thing is, this is very, very, how to say, it's a lot of emotions. It's a lot of knowledge. It's a lot of strategy behind, because, just imagine when East meets West. It sounds like easy, but in reality, it's different, because this is life. What the thing is, we have to make them believe that we have quality, that we deserve to be there. That's the thing. So you can see from the picture that I used the foundation of corset, very vintage, mixing up with the local heritage, with our local cultural heritage of weaving. Everything we create. We use the how to say, the organic cotton. We use the silk. We have natural dye, and we reimagine to be like into like streetwear and punk and glamorous. You can see from the first look to the last look, you can see from streetwear and something really unique. And of course, we end up with something that possible or available for the red carpet, for celebrity. And the thing is, it's not easy to be there in London Fashion Week, to be honest, not just about money or your talents, because they need tons of information. You might need to, it's like research project. You need one book, 200 pages, to explain about your journey, issue solution, and why you deserve to be there. And it's actually after I came back from London Fashion Week, I create my own syllabus, core, understand the fashion brand through 10 questions. Because the thing is, if you can answer me these 10 questions, you can see the brighter future of your business. And I did that. I have my students, so it's very good because it affects your mindset when you read the news or you see things on social media. And this is called like how to read fashion, and it's very good, very benefit society. So it's quite success. And the thing is, I got Simon Armstrong, one of the world famous photographer from Vogue, took this runway photo for me. And yes, it's success. My collection was mentioned by Forbes, one of the well-known magazine, to be one of 12 collection to look at. So it's quite success in 2019. So this chapter, I would just say, make sure you deserve to be there. You need a lot of information, because everywhere you go, everything you do, you need a lot of research. You don't do just, maybe you have a lot of passion, but of course, information matters. So don't forget, it's really something, because if you really want to be someone or really want to do something success, you need a lot of information, and make sure you have enough to avoid all the list. So done for the London Fashion Week. So may I have next slide, please? Okay. This is actually happened before the global pandemics of COVID-19. I got a very good opportunity from Jacques Voravaj of Voravaj Foundation by cultural understanding portraits. So he gave me opportunity to went to Chiang Rai to meet the Hill tribe student. You can see the little girl, 3 little girl in white dresses. They are Hill tribe students from Chiang Rai. They love fashion, but you know, not everyone born the same. Even me, I born poor. I'm not shy to say that. You know, when people have such a lack of opportunity, but they have full of dream, they have full of passion. It's just like, if we are now on the position to share, we are now possible to share. So why not? So we went to Chiang Rai to these 3 girls, and I have my own course outline full of syllabus that I created my own, which is under the concept learning through experience. So I taught them. You can see this red dress. They learned from me and they did it themselves. And this is Miss Lesotho. So she wore it. And the thing is, on that day, there was like even simply exceptional gala dinner. It's the event to invite all the loyal family and the most distinguished guests and honors from around the world, 350 persons. So we have loyal family from 5 countries attend the event. So this student, the Hill tribe student, creates their own dress, and they show in front of people, and we can call the top of the pyramid of consequence. And they feel proud, feel hopes, not just because they feel like they fulfill, but the thing is they can inspire the others for like, don't give up to seek your dream, just be patient, because one day it will come. So this is the thing that I would say why it's so matter for sustainable fashion, because education so matters. If you want to make it sustain, not just yourself now, we have to think for the next generation as well. So this is the structural issue. We have to think wider, not just like what in front. And this is like done for the part of this event. May I have next slide, please? Okay. So, I mean, this is kind of like the beginning of the global pandemics of COVID-19. So actually this year was so sad because I was selected to be the 7 designers to showcase the collection at Cannes Film Festival. But hopeless, there was like COVID-19, so I couldn't go there, but I still did something meaningful to society, to benefit society. And with the support of Jacques Voravaj of Voravaj Foundation and the Office of Contemporary Art and Culture, Ministry of Culture. So they supported me again. So I went to the Hill tribe student. I taught them with my syllabus, with my course outline. And now they turn the imagination. Actually, one of my syllabus called how to make your imagination into reality. So it was like only 1 week. So they turned the imagination to the mask, face mask. And you can see the picture on the right lower. That's the way that they show their achievements, their drawing. And I was so surprised because they did it well. You know, they didn't even like learn it before. I asked her, I asked them, they just like, no, we just love it and we just want to do it. So Count Joro support the fund to me to produce the face mask, printed, the painting. So we did that, and we create some, how to say, the campaign to raise the fund. And we went to help people, the Hill tribe people, 1,000 people. Who doesn't have like ID card? Because like if they don't have ID card, that means they cannot get into any facilities, government support. So we earn big amount of money from this campaign with the mask from the students. And of course we have the local people support, even like the rice bag and everything. So we help 1,000 people who has no ID card on that time. So the students feel proud. Right now they feel like they could benefit society. So right now they can inspire the others, even the new generation, even their friend, even their family. And this is really create the big impact. And of course we have Thailand tablet mentioned about this project as well, because it's the extension from from the first. So now you can see this is even like start from putting ingredients on the table, and I just was there and I just turned thing into fashion. And right now from that point it turns to education, it turned to opportunity, it helped lives. So it's done for this project. And maybe may I have next slide, please. Okay, so this is something that I feel like I have to think out of the box, because the first, it's already like maybe the second year of the pandemic, and like people stuck, self-isolation. And it was sad because some of my friends who has like 20 years or 50 years of experience in fashion, they just want to, like shut the business. So I create one community, a project with purpose to support designers, artists from around the world. Actually, I have a lot of friends from around the world. Yes, a lot of friends. And I just tell him, like, just imagine right now, with all designer friends, if you just put the photo on the wall and you just have your mind, like the marketing, people have the position of their product, and it's quite balanced right now for the industry, for the fashion industry. But right now, one guy with 50 years of experience will shut down himself from the industry. It's like a jigsaw, the missing piece of jigsaw with 50-year experience. Just imagine if you lose it. So I just say like, hey, don't do, because if you leave, how can I find one with 50 years experience to put there? It's not easy. So I just try to kind of like, create something to make them feel proud. So I start interview all my friends, and I create this kind of, graphic with my lack of designing skill technology. So I try to find the uniqueness on each person, so that one, to themselves, to realize in value and why they are so matter, why they're so mean to the industry. Number two, now you can see the whole picture of the industry, why it balanced right now, because people have their own expertise. And the thing is, it's very impacted, inspire others, because right now, Indonesian Fashion Chamber start doing the same things. Even we can do something meaningful with the university, or even we can just create something. We went deep down to the philosophy of eat means wet. We have to learn to be happier, especially the fashion industry, for like why the other side moves so fast and the other side still like here. But once something that disrupt, such as COVID-19, why someone who used to move so fast stop now? And here, the one who used to be like, move slow like turtle, now they still can be there and they are strong. We dig deep down into detail to philosophy until we got news from some university, and they said like, oh, this is very useful information for the future for World Trade Organization, or to affect the how to say, the part of economy. So this is still on progress that we are working on. So it's one community happened in 2020. So may I have next slide, please? Okay, this is my recent project. After COVID-19 has lapsed, so we start doing Clubhouse. Even I'm a lowest technology person, kind of, but I still have to adapt, because the thing is, I have to tell everyone. I always tell everyone, adapt, then you will live longer. Since I start in 2018 with the how to say the localism, with the fashion for good cause. So right now I start working on localism to realize in conservation and cultural heritage, because sustainable fashion is something that really something that happens from people's behavior. When people knows, when people get educated, when people learn about the story behind the creation. So this is really affect to the demand supply, because if we talk about the fast fashion, sometimes because people just want to buy it because they want to be the in-time person. And as today we have like social media kind of thing. So people just feel like they want to be a part of the recent situation. So they keep buying stuff to make themselves updated. And the thing is structural issue. Is the problem from people's behavior. It's very headache. To be honest, it's very difficult. But the thing is, if you want to talk about sustainable fashion, go to people behavior. You have to learn the behavior. You have to find the issue. Why? And now we're just sitting back and consider what will be the solution. To be honest, it's not gonna be like, if you want to do this, I can do this, and it happened. No. As I told you before the session, as long as we cannot move the mountain in 7 days, our journey still like have to we have to keep doing this. And this kind of like Clubhouse session, we have question. It's just like like we have one glass. We put one round glass on the table, and we have people around the table, around the glass. People see one glass, same glass, but different perspective. So they can see different things, even on one glass. So it's the same thing. It's the same strategy that I use for this Clubhouse section. So we earned a lot of information, and I got support by the university in Indonesia, Ciputra, Center for Creative Political Study. So we create something like this to find out the solution to keep sustainable fashion alive and really means to the industry. So this is something that I have done recently, and right now, in time that we are correct all the information to the book and to benefit society for the next chapter. So may I have next slide, please? So this is the last one. This is my recent, the real recent things called Volai. Volai, that means a lot of lotus, is the name of district in Nakhon Ratchasima province. If this is a book, it will be a book with all the application, all the knowledge. We change people from belief system, behavior, because we have to make things happen. From conservation, the traditional of living, natural dye, using herbs and whatever they can find locally, and we recreate something new product, fresh, unique, and of course I have to talk to whatever to say about the efficiency communication. It's very difficult, to be honest, but it happened because I create one tool called barcode, the evidence of mind. I use this kind of tools that I created to check on people in the village, to know what they have in mind, because the thing is, we have to separate two sides between what the hidden skill they have, what's the asset of skill, and the asset of mind. We separate people to be creative people, support people, and the people with analyzing mind. Because it's very matter once you do business. You cannot just, I want to do this, I want to sell this, then I produce it and sell. No. We still have the marketing support. Someone really support, someone really have full of information. And of course, the last, we need someone who really know the market, know the world, know the situation. So they can analyze to avoid all of this. So this is something that I'm doing, and yes, it's my luck that I got support by Ministry of Higher Education, Science, Research and Innovation. So I think I'm done and really in time. So I just hope that what I have done so far would possibly benefit you in some way. It's not easy, but I can't wait till the day of your success. And yes, thank you so much for having me today. It's an honor and welcome to life. I'm done speaking. Thank you.
Thank you, Kun Voravaj, for sharing your experience and expertise with us. I really love your passion. I find it interesting how you can incorporate herbs, soil, and rock to make fabric and also build it into fashion. I think the collaboration project really brings a benefit to society while also raising awareness for customers. I would like to highlight that how in your Manila project, you created something with the material that is in the market and also incorporated with the local. I find that really cool. And I like how you use what each city is known for. For example, you're able to adapt the design to a local heritage, such as weaving and silk, and turn it into something remarkable. I also find it very inspiring how you can turn everything into fashion and also use it to help lives. For example, your face mask project is really inspiring, and how you use the face masks from students to create a campaign to raise funds to support those without an ID. And also in your project to create a camp to support designers and artists, I love how you find the uniqueness in each individual and identify each of their expertise. And I really agree with you that to address sustainable fashion, we need to learn people's behaviors to find the solution. So,
Thank you.
so there are
That's
some.
so sweet.
Thank you. I really enjoyed it. Also, there are some questions from the audience for you. So the first question is, if I bought fast fashion and wore it more than 10 times, comparing with I bought a brand name or normal fashion and wore it for 10 times too, what are the difference?
To be honest, I bought one outfit and I wear it for 10 years. So I don't think there's any problem. And the thing is, to be honest, I can't see if you're gonna say about the high-end fashion and the fast fashion, you maybe, I don't know what the determination that you have to use to compare quality, style, or whatever things. But the thing is, I would explain to you one of the high level fashion. They don't just, for the example, one shirt. They don't just create shirt. They have a lot of, knowledge and detail, patterns, and all the stitch that they use, even the button. And the thing is, they didn't sell it expensive because they are brand name. No, there are a lot of knowledge. There are a lot of story behind the creation. So if you have opportunity to learn deep down in detail, or even the history of the brand, then you will have you just feel like you wear that pride. You know what I mean? It's not just a shirt, it's something. That's why they can sell it expensive. Not because they just go, hey, because I'm brand A and I want to sell this price. And you're fast fashion, you cannot go with this. No, the only thing is fast fashion can go with that price too, if they have enough story behind the creation. So now the pricing condition is different. It's not just because of fast fashion and the high-end rubber, or you wear it 10 times or whatever. If you say like, oh, this is worth enough if I spend this amount of money. No, because high-end, they're concerned about every single point. Fast fashion will consider about reasonable price. Of course, I'm the one who really love, buy some, not expensive stuff, because, all you need is just put on yourself and look great. And good quality will be fine. But if you just feel like maybe me, just imagine if I have to wear the pink t-shirt and it's not really me, should I buy the brand name one? No, I will go for the fast fashion one because I will wear once. Because I know it doesn't suit me, but I can't avoid wearing this because some condition. But anyway, that's, I told you, everything is all about people's behavior. I don't judge. There is no right or wrong. It's you. So I hope it's covered and you get what you need to hear.
Thank you for your answer. I would like to emphasize on the pricing question from Kunmai. She said, do you think sustainable fashion is the problem for only those who have money?
Pricing. Can you say that one again, please? I'm thinking.
Do you think sustainable fashion is the problem only for people who have money?
No. I have the question. What sustainable fashion means to you? Yes.
To me?
Yeah.
I guess for me, sustainable fashion is something that doesn't cause harm to the environment or to people, for example, workers.
Yeah. But to be honest, do you really feel like you feel attached to this issue? Really? You just want to buy or you want to support the sustainable fashion because you think, oh, it's affect to environment or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Do you really serious about this? To be honest? So the thing is why we are talking about sustainable fashion. Because we know what the trend that people, all the news start inform you for like, oh, we are like over demand and a lot of trash or whatever. We have to save Earth. And the thing, there is some other point. To be honest, I do almost 100% of sustainable fashion. But the thing is, I never blame fast fashion. Because you know why? Behind the fast fashion contain life. How many lives work in manufacturing? It means education. If no job, why the new generation will have education? Because they need money. And everything is actually affect the whole system. And the thing is, right now we just have to reconsider. That's why I said people's behavior is so matter. And the thing is, we need to get information. And we try to make things balanced. And of course, fashion is all about money. You can't avoid this point. So if you try to, please fast fashion stop producing over demand, how can they survive? And how many lies behind the industry? Just imagine. So we really have, once we get lost, this is the thing. Once we get lost, go back to objective. Why we are here. Why we talk about sustainable fashion. To be honest, it's not just only the over demand. It's something else more than that in different perspective. Okay.
We have a question from the audience. They would like to emphasize, as some might say, that their basic problems still can't be solved, basic needs are still not met, then how could they care about something like sustainable fashion?
It's structural issue. It's structural problem. People will not feel, will never feel it until they feel they're gonna lose it. You know what I mean? No, I'm not just the person who just get up in the morning and just feel like, oh my God, I want to do planting. I just feel like tomorrow, it's gonna be like no more tree, and tomorrow I will just get up and plant. No, I'm not that kind of person. Until I feel like I went to the mountain, and the mountain turned to be like, all the soil, no tree. And tons of mountains gonna be like that. So I feel like, hey, this is something, this is the problem really close to me. And I know this is really affecting me. So this is very something deep down on psychology. It's very psychology. So I would just, have a short description for this question for like, people will not feel it, will not feel the importance until they feel they're gonna lose it. So if you say about that kind of like, how comes? So it's just that because they haven't faced the real problem on their own face yet. But once they face the problem, they will learn how to for the conservation or whatever. Yeah, I don't know if this cover you get something from me, but this is my idea.
Okay, thank you for your answer. Another answer, what do you think is actually the real cause of fast fashion, you'd say?
The real cause? Fast fashion. Well, to be honest, we are now in the period of time of technology, especially the social media. And of course, people want to be in time, trendy, and up to date. And fast fashion is solution. And of course, if you just want to take a photo on your phone and post on Instagram, you don't need to like wear it twice because you don't need another photo to look the same. So fast fashion is the solution for this nowadays situation. Yes, I'm done speaking.
Another question from Kunmai.
Sure.
How would you educate people with this mindset? Like, I believe that fashion problems will never be solved if economic or other aspects cannot be met.
The thing is, for example, the village, I went to them and I asked them, do you feel happy with your life? If not, why? Money, boring, or why? What makes you feel like I don't want to continue doing this? If the problem is boring, easy, we need to find something exciting for them, something fun to maintain the feeling. But if the problem is all about the income, the money, we need a lot of strategy behind that. And that's why I try to create the opportunity to solve this problem. So it's structural issue, structural problem. So you have to consider things on its point. You cannot just go there and judge 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. Everything's supposed to be in order, and they have their own solution on each issue. So this is my answer.
Thank you for your answer. Last question. What is the future of fashion and what can we expect to see in the next 5 to 10 years?
All right. I'm not going to say for the whole thing because it's quite far away from where I am. But the thing is, I'm trying so hard to push sustainable fashion, especially the localism. And yes, with my community in Indonesia, especially with the university in Indonesia, we want our sustainable fashion, the localism, to be one of the pie of the UTSM. So people will realize more about, we as a Southeast Asian person, we have rich of cultural heritage stuff. And we really support the idea of sustainable fashion. Or, we have a lot of story behind the creation. Just imagine like one of the big brands, I can't mention it, but they try so hard to run around the world to find something unique, to find some story behind the creation to make their collection, not just like wow, but meaningful. But now we are sitting down with all this kind of material. Why we need to run away? So this is my job right now. This is what I expect. I try so hard to do some research about this. I try so hard to use all the knowledge I have, all my people, I may just annoy my people, bother my people, just like, hey, come, do. Because I want to push this so hard to be one of the pie of the BGS. So this is my expect. And I believe that people will feel, realize in fashion, not just apparel. It means something meaningful, and if it's possible to change people mindset to like buy this. I will buy this because it benefits society. I buy this because it helps people for the conservation. I buy this because it can continue the education for the next generation. So this is what I see.
Thank you, Kunmara, for taking your time to share your experience.
You're welcome. I really hope that you will get something from me because
we all really enjoyed it.
Okay, thank you.
And lastly, if we want to follow and contact and follow along with your projects, like how can we, any social?
All right. The most activated one will be my Instagram, Voravaj_official. I actually have Facebook as well, Voravaj Bangkok, you see that right? So I always like, post my journey, everything I think about fashion, not just only, beautiful gowns or couture or the red carpet things, but it's always come up with the idea, or whenever, I went to the village, fashion week, or even here today on the session, I will probably post it. Anyway, so yeah, thank you so much for having me too. It's an honor, and welcome to life. It's not easy, but it's possible.
Thank you. Okay, so we have come to an end of our webinar, and we would like to thank both our speakers for sacrificing your time to be our guest speaker in this webinar, and all thanks to School of Integrated Innovation, and lastly, Bass High students for cooperating together in order for this webinar to happen. Thank you for all the audience for participating today, and have a nice day.
Before we leave, can Miss can Kun Pimnara turn on your camera? Let's take a picture. Hello.
1 second.
โอเคครับ
พี่ต้าขอช็อตอันนี้แป๊บเดียว
Okay, so okay, so get ready, and 1, 2, 3. One more, please. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thank you very much for both of you to be here today. It's an honor to have both of you here, and thank you to our audience, and that's it for our webinar of sustainable fashion today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye for now.
Bye bye.